5 West 88th Street, I discovered a company called Chicken Delight. Don't cook tonight. Call Chicken Delight. And they'd bring you 3 pieces of chicken, crinkle fries, a bun, a thing of jelly, and I would dip the jelly in the French fries, and they would deliver it right to my door. When my mom cooked something I didn't like, that today I would give a fucking hand for one of those dishes. But when I was 7, if she cooked something I didn't like, I would just call Chicken Delight. And we'd be sitting there in the living room, and all of a sudden the bell would ring, and I'd just get up, and I'm like, it's for me. And she'd go, what are you talking about? And it'd be Chicken Delight, and I'd give them a tip and everything. And I'd take the chicken into my room. And there was a movie theater on 147th Street in Broadway called Tapia. We never paid to go to the movies. Like crime don't pay. Like we used to just walk in there and say, like, we're not paying, or we'll burn the joint down. And we were like between the ages of 7 to like 10. And we'll take the pins and pick locks. Yeah. He was teaching me how to open up a door with a credit card. But my mom didn't notice. And we would fucking grind keys all night. Like, zzz, we would make keys up there.
They're grinding their teeth.
Oh, me and him would be grinding up there. And then I'd come downstairs like nothing happened. My mom would go, how was it? It was great. Me and him, and at the end of our work, he would reward me by giving me an orange soda and vanilla wafer crackers, and I would dip the crackers in the soda. I was such a fucking hillbilly. You know, I would dip the crackers. And then my mother dropped a bomb on him. My mom's like, and I want my money back for the year. In 5s. Like, I want my deposit back, but I want it in $5 bills. Like, something crazy. Like, my mom was crazy like that. And she goes, I won't leave till I get my money back. This is bullshit. I'm going to contact my attorney. They wrote my mother a check.
Did they?
Yeah. So I went to school a year for free.
And you got to stay in school.
And then you should have seen me. I was walking around like Chinese people after Bruce Lee. I was walking in there like the kids were shining my shoes. I had become a star in that school. People were fucking wiping down the table before I sat down. I didn't have to eat my string beans no more. I would just throw them out in front of them. I'd take the milk full and I'd pour it in the garbage in front of Sister Hyacinth and give it a finger. I mean, I had a bad attitude. Now I called her a cunt in Spanish, puta. You know, everything sucia, hijo de puta. She was telling me, you got to get fucked in the ass 4 times before you can hit my kid. I mean, it was terrible. It was
That's terrible. A hell of a fucking role.
Oh, yeah. My mother's like, you got to get fucked in the ass 5 times, have a kid, and then you can lay a hand on my kid. Until that time, don't you ever lay a hand on my kid. So I think a priest was a friend. The door opens up. And it's my mother with like 8 Puerto Ricans. Anybody who was drinking at the bar, she put them in the car with her. Like, let's go. We're going to go clean some fucking clocks. They came indoors, and I had gotten hit in the head with a lunchbox. And that
a metal
lunchbox. Yeah. And it snapped me out. Like, it hit me on the right side, which tells you you're a pussy. It must have snapped me out or whatever. And then I run into these kids. Oh, shit. And they polished me up.
What? Wait, what?
So, 5th grade, you know, when I got to that school in the 4th grade, we were watching Happy Days. There was a show called Happy Days with Fonzie.
Yeah.
And one night, in the middle of fucking Happy Days, a commercial, there was a commercial for the trailer of a movie called The Chinese Connection. Now, there was 4 kids who went silent. Like, we all just went silent. You know, I know that before Bruce Lee, Chinese people were fucking walking around like shy and scared. They would only bow. Once Bruce Lee came on the scene, Chinese people were like, what the fuck did you say, motherfucker?
Even if they didn't know anything.
They're like, don't be calling me no yellow nigga. I'll fuck you up. Because in Harlem, they would call them yellow niggas. It was fucking crazy. It was crazy. It was crazy. So then once Bruce Lee came, you couldn't fuck with Chinese people no more. Now I can't go on Saturday Night Live. That poor bastard. Monday was the best thing for me because I'm out of television. And if not, I'm out now. I'm out now. I'm out of TV. You know what I'm saying? But that's the truth. Like, that's 50 years old and they're a little retarded today. It's because It's because they practiced the nunchucks. Because every time you had to do this move, the nunchuck would fly up and hit you right in the bottom of the cranium. So if you see a 50-year-old that stutters or he's a little fucked up, nobody ever talks about nunchuck damage. Challenge like, oh, he's got DFT. He got punched in the head. What about all the retards that are walking around till they're my age because of fucking nunchucks? Because we had to practice nunchucks. You that's retarded or got an eye patch, they're a victim.
Because of that.
And they didn't sue nobody. Did they sue the nunchuck factory? No. They took the retardation with stride, okay? It's true. I'm retarded from all those knocks in the head from the nunchuck because it hits the bottom.
A story. So the commercial comes on for this during.
And that changed America.
But what you said, you jumped the nun.
So then what happened was, everybody like in America, pharmacy, they didn't know what I was talking about. Yeah. The movie theater's gone. Sticky Charlie's long gone. God knows where Sticky Charlie is,
Oh, God.
And I was already starting to get that attitude from 148th Street. I was running it down. And I looked at them straight in the face, and I go, fuck her. With a little bit of volume to it. It was like April, and I go, fuck, coming from my lip. And once I tasted that blood,
Bruce Lee.
Like Bruce Lee.
Oh, shit. The Cuban connection.
I looked at her. And I said, I'm going to go for this bitch. Now, I was pretty proficient in karate.
And you were fifth grade?
Fifth grade. I was a purple belt in karate at Laranjo, whatever's father's school, Mr. Black on 98th Street. I was great with kicks. I had really good kicks. My hands were kind of weak, but I was a pussy. I was scared to fight. I was scared to get hit, but I was getting the hang of it. And I said, today, this is not going to happen. And in the middle of her smacking me, I just grabbed her. And I'll never forget, it was like metal shelves that had notebooks on it and like all school utensils. And I pushed her with her back in the middle of one of the things that was sticking out. Mm-hmm. So when I pushed her, I hit her hard. And she's like, well, and she goes, what are you doing? And I go, you're not going to hit me today. Not today. And I think I smacked her or whatever once or twice. I was crazy. And then she went to push me, but she fell into a fucking a headlock. Mm-hmm. So this bitch had me by 50 pounds, 60 pounds, maybe 100 pounds. She was a big fat bitch. And I had her by the fucking head, and I knew that I couldn't let go. I knew that either if I let go, I had to run for that door.
Hell yeah, man! You're.
So I'm holding on to her, and she can't get out of this
everything
headlock.
Right there.
And I'm squeezing her. I don't have it under the chin like I had. It was a Khabib. I knew nothing about. I knew nothing about choking people or nothing. I just knew about fear, what it was to be a scared little boy. And I just grabbed her. My adrenaline must have been pumping because she kept saying, "You're gonna kill me. You're gonna kill me." And I'm like, fuck it, you're dying today. I'm like, I didn't give a fuck. And I kept squeezing. And then I turned her around, and she fucking kept in the headlock. She could not. I don't know how I had her. I was holding on to a fucking thing. By this point, her veil had come off.
And shit's all over.
Everything came off. My heart's pumping. My heart was fucking beating to death.
Yeah.
And I got to open the door, and the kids were exiting the class. So now they're looking at this. They just like, oh, and I'm grabbing. I'm like, get help. Get the fucking Rubero brothers. We got to go to work here. I'm running out of time. You know what I'm saying? The ship is fucking sinking. And I knew that I had her. I knew I was just going to run out of there and keep running. That was my plan, to just run out of there and keep running, get to a payphone, call my mother at the bar in Union City, which is about 20 minutes away. That was the plan. That was the fucking plan, to run out of there, guys. I swear to God. And as I came out, these are New York City kids. This ain't fucking California people. This ain't kids. These are fucking suburb-raised kids that are crazy. So what do they start doing? They start clapping. Go, 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 go. Now I gotta kill her. Now I gotta kill her. I can't pussy out in front of these guys. I'm representing 148th Street. And I'm representing Union City. I'm representing 88th Street. How am I going to pussy out? They're yelling, Coco, Coco. I'm choking her to death. And she's like, let me go. Let me go. And now other kids start jumping in. Thank God for Puerto Ricans. Thank God for Puerto Ricans and Italian kids. Because those are the only two that... And we all raised our hands. She's like, I know what you guys said last night. And so she put a poster in front of the hole in the desk. So you couldn't see inside the snatch no more.
You guys ruined it.
So Catholic school was great. I made friends with a bunch of kids, a couple mafia kids. I always kept it together and walked back and had like a straight Ted Bundy look on my face. Like, I'm not going to get you today, but I'm going to get you, you fat bitch. The main one being Sister Hyacinth. Sister Hyacinth, he'd sick the dog on you, and the dog would grab your pants and go, and then he would hit you with the stick at the same time. So I told Jack, you ever touch me, I'll fucking have my stepfather here in like 3 weeks to knock the fuck out of you.
3 weeks?
He'll fucking knock you.
You got 21 days.
You got like 21 days, and he'll knock the fuck. So I told Jack, like my third week in that school, if he, like already in the third grade, like I was that hip. I go, you touch me with that fucking pointer, and my stepfather will be here in an hour to fucking put a bullet in your head. Just damn! The glasses broke in the bridge, and they cut him under here. I don't think he got stitches or anything, but there was visible blood. I mean, that's the type of parents were completely different animals than what we have today. Well, he can't have peanut butter. In the 70s, you ate it, whether you fucking choked or not. You know these little faggy kids, I can't eat shrimp because my fucking throat closes. Kids were dying all the time when I was a kid because parents didn't give a fuck.
There's a full-on assault on peanuts, in the school system. I just talked about. I said in Baltimore to everybody in there. I go, did we just not know? Like, of all you people who were in your 30s and 40s, did any of you have a peanut allergy? Like, I don't ever remember any school I ever went, and they're all like, no, it's all a newer thing.
This is all new things. So
I'm like, were kids dying?
I don't eat shrimp because my throat opens up. Let me tell you something. If your dad was a bus driver, and he drove up and down Broadway for a living, and he bought shrimp, and you told your dad you didn't like shrimp because your throat was closed and you can't breathe, looks like you're dying. You're dying. Yeah. You're going to eat a shrimp and die. They didn't give a fuck.
Gonna kill you.
There was no allergies. Like, there was no allergies. There was no allergies. This is a new fucking thing. So, I mean, it was just a weird Italian kid, brown curly hair, short, compact. Rogan, when he was 10 with hair, and he's fucking fighting like a caged. I'm 90, I can't die. Just walking those hills when I was a kid, man. And they were like this. North Bergen, New Jersey is like this.
Taking on the whole family.
He's like Burt Reynolds in the beginning of The Longest Yard. He's smacking this fat bitch, bah. And I forget what her name was, whatever. And now the father comes running. Like, you just see a man coming. Now, I'm watching this from 25 feet, ladies and gentlemen. This is day one, North Bergen, New Jersey. Now I see the father or a man. Let's just say I see a man run into the picture. And he's like, what's going on here? Break it up. But when he breaks it up, I realize he's the kid that's getting beat up's father.
Oh, okay.
So he takes the Italian kid, throws him off, and pushes him.
Oh, he's the Italian kid's dad.
No, the Irish kid's dad.
The Irish kid's dad.
Robson. Okay. He was Mr. Robson.
Family dad.
So he's like, what the fuck's going on here? You get on your own fucking block. And Anthony's like, fuck you. His name was Anthony. I didn't know this at the time. The kid's like, fuck you. And I'm like,
yeah.
Jesus Christ. He's like,
I'm home.
He's like, fuck you, motherfucker. You got something to say? And there's a young kid. I'm maybe 11. And he's my age. And he's telling an adult to go fuck himself and fuck your mother. And the kid comes over, the man comes over and pushes him. And now from that distance, I fucking shoot the gap. I'm fucking 148th Street. I gotta represent here. I gotta let these motherfuckers know you can't hit a kid. Yeah. So I jump in. And now all these neighborhood kids are watching me.
Like, who the fuck is this?
And they're like, who the fuck is this guy? But what I forgot to tell you, my mom had dressed me in white that day. With like a gold chain and like white sneakers. So everybody knew I was Spanish. Like, when you dressed in white, you were a Spanish kid. So I come up and I go, hey man, don't fucking play. He's like, who the fuck are you? And the kid looks at me that I stick up for, and he's got his own friends, and none of them jumped in because they're scared because he's a fucking man. And I'm like, fuck you, man. You can't be fucking touching him, whatever. And the Italian kid looks at me, and all of a sudden he goes, you know what? Fuck you, to the father. And he goes, I'm calling my fucking father. And the guy's like, call your fucking father, you guinea motherfucker, whatever. And all of a sudden the kid went into a house. I'm sitting there with the kid. There's no introduction.
Yeah, this is
Nobody says, hello, my name is Joe. Hi, my name is Mike. I don't eat peanuts. There's none of that shit. These kids are just like standing around like looking at me. But the kid that said he was going to call his father, the Italian kid, goes in this other kid's house who later on turned out to be Anthony Sabatino, dear friends with. And he comes out and he goes, wait 5 minutes. By this time, the family had gone into the house. He wasn't even out of the house. And 2 cop cars rolled up. An unmarked car and a marked car. The unmarked car guy got out, and the cop got out. The uniform guy got out, and the detective came out. And the detective walks up to the kid, and he goes, what's the problem? And he goes, the guy, I'm watching this from like 8 feet. Like I could hear the conversation. He's like, that guy up there put his hands on me, whatever. And that's all I heard. I could be honest with you, that's all I heard. The fucking detective looks at the kid and he goes, okay. He walks up the stairs. Now all these are houses in front of us, but in the corner was like an apartment building. Not really, like 2 levels. Mm-hmm. And like 4 apartments on each floor.
Little duplex.
And you could access them from the outside on stairs. So I see this cop with a walkie-talkie run up the first level of stairs, run up the second level of stairs. He gets in front of a house, and he knocks on the door. We're all there just watching it. Now, the cop that's in the police uniform is also standing there. And all of a sudden, the guy opens the door. Mr. Robson, Carmine Balzano takes his hand, grabs the guy, pulls him out into the thing, and starts beating him with the walkie-talkie.
Right in the stairwell?
Right in the stairwell, 22 witnesses, and a police officer. He's just beating him with the walkie-talkie, beating him. The guy drops to one knee and hangs onto the railing. Bad news. Carmine handcuffs him and finishes him off with his hands. And the kids are out, Daddy, Daddy. And they're like, ah, and the mother's out, like, stop it, stop it. And Carmine's hitting the fucking father, and us as kids are like, Jesus Christ. Like, blood's coming down the guy's head. And all of a sudden he's like, you touch my fucking kid again, I'll fucking kill you. He takes the handcuff off, he walks down the stairs, and he walks up to Anthony, and he goes, let's go home or whatever. But before he turns, man, it was the weirdest thing. He looked at me, this big fucking Italian guy that had big hands, and he had a big graduation ring from like Rutgers or some shit. He had hands like prosciuttos. And he looks at me and he goes to Anthony, who's this kid? Now, I don't know nothing. I don't know names. And Anthony goes, that's the new Spick kid, but he's the only one that fucking stuck up for me. So the guy goes, why don't you invite him over for dinner? And I'm like,
yeah, you ain't saying no to
this ain't happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what I should have told on Ari's thing. I'm like, dinner? So I don't know who this guy is. I just know he's
straight
$5,000.
Holy
So he gave me
shit.
$2,500. Now he thought I was like a wizard, right? So he's like, this motherfucker's got magic powers.
He wanted you to did it.
So he was like, you're a bad motherfucker. You're a bad motherfucker. So on top of being a martial artist, I was gangster till the end. But I had to get rid of him. So one night, I do judo. I was a big martial artist at this age. Once I got out of Catholic school, I dedicated my life to hanging out with the Balzanos, robbing shit. We robbed trains and,
Trains?
Yeah, we used to rob trains. I'll get to that in a second. But bleeding from her nose, and they're putting ice on her, and all of a sudden the door started pounding. And it's like, let that fucking bitch out or I'm gonna fucking kill her in Spanish. And I saw Juan run to the garage and he came back with a gun with a silencer. And he's like, open the door. And my mom opened the door and Juan popped the hand up and he goes, you got 10 seconds. And the guy had like a knife or something. And Juan's like, you got like 10 seconds to get the fuck out of here. And the guy ran down the stairs. We took it to the. I went to school with his sons. John Pronge lived on that block.
I don't remember him in there, but I've seen
he
that.
was
That
the
guy's
Mr. Softy
in there.
guy. And
Okay.
when we were kids,
I'm
we'd
gonna go
always
back
ask.
and look at it.
We'd always ask the Pronges, Doug, how come your father don't sell us ice cream? And he would look at us and go, my father don't sell that type of ice cream. That was a badass block, but we used to always on. I'll never forget that. And we look up and we see the father's Corvette coming up the block, and the word on the street is they were going to come throw a beating on me for what happened to the sister. And I would have fought Al. I wasn't scared of Al. I just didn't know what the father was thinking. And when I saw the Corvette coming up, I looked at Juan. We were like mowing, and I was like raking and putting them in garbage cans, like garbage bags, like those green bags. I'll never forget Juan looking up, and he goes, what's this? And I go, this guy wants to come over here and mess with me. And without even moving, he just turned around, and there was like a brick staircase, and he just moved the brick, and there was a little fucking 45 under the brick. And he just pointed at him. He just pointed at him in broad daylight. There was people out sweeping, and they saw it, and the vet went in reverse. It was fucking classic. In reverse downhill. Like when they saw Juan just pointing at him, like Juan did not fuck around. He was known for shooting motherfuckers. You know, everybody has a slogan. His slogan was, hey, Coco, come here. If you ever want to kill somebody, invite them on for dinner.
He fucking invited you over.
Those are his words of advice all the time. If you ever want to kill somebody, invite them on for dinner. And he would blink at me. I'm a kid. I'm like, yeah, okay. You know, I'm not planning on killing somebody. Well, don't apply to me.